See, so what that is called divide. So he's dividing now. He's dividing Ireland, and he's saying, well, if you've been vaccinated, two people that have been vaccinated can come together. So that means you get the ching that you feel good that you've been vaccinated. See, this is what I wrote about on my page. This is what I spoke about over a year ago. So he's used the word vaccinated. So here's the first tick. This is how he leads into vaccines, EU vaccines. Have a listen. Here we go, right? First tick. There we go. There's the first one. Continue, globalists that don't care about this land. Continue, you globalist.
Each time that I stood here and talked to you about the pandemic and what we must do to protect ourselves and our society, I've had to talk about the path out of the pandemic in the future tense. Vaccines were all...
Vaccines, here we go. That's two. Vaccines. Pandemic he's talking about, with a 99.91 recovery rate that upends people that are vitamin D deficient, have underlying conditions, and elderly people, build up their immune systems, look after them, give them a good diet. What do they need to be vaccinated for? Well, he's telling you they do. But anyway, there's two ticks. Continue.
Something that we were looking forward to. That is no longer the case. Thanks to the truly historic effort of the world's best scientific minds, we now have a range of brilliantly effective and safe vaccines.
There, we pause again. Remember all the scientific geniuses that are all part of the EU scam. There we go, there's the word 3 times now connected to vaccines. And he's only getting going, he's only getting the big sale at the end here. All to do with the vaccine, all to do with the void, all to do with the thumbs up if you're vaccinated. Continue with this dirtbag.
Little more than a year after this terrible virus began killing people.
Now, pause again. He's using the word killing, yeah? Killing is a word that triggers in the brain, that makes you feel like, Jesus Christ, when you use the word killing. That's why he's using it, okay? It's to make you think it's worse than what it is. Continue.
In Europe, we now have 4 separate types of COVID vaccines approved for use. And it is...
Pause again. Europe again. Not the world, Europe. Europe. This is twice he's mentioned Europe, and again he's mentioned vaccines. So let's go, give him another tick. Because that's all he is a fucking tick. There we are, up to 4 ticks now. Good sell here for the EU vaccination programme. Good man, globalists. Continue.
Increasingly clear from all around the world that each one of them has a remarkable impact in terms of preventing serious illness and death. We have evidence here in Ireland from the reduced infections in our vulnerable population and our healthcare workers who have already been vaccinated.
And pause again, he's yet to using vaccinated healthcare workers, and they've got loads of evidence, of course, because he is not telling you the other side of the coin, which is people, nurses, people that are being pushed into corners, that don't want to get vaccinated, that are being told they have to be vaccinated. Literally trying to make it out as if it's mandatory. He's not telling you about all the nurses and even people in the Garda Force that have been vaccinated that have never been the same again since the vaccine. No one's talking about it. But remember, Mr. EU is not telling you a lie. Let's get another tick in here. Here we go. That's 5 ticks now. Let's go. Keep pushing the fucking vaccine gig. It gets worse. This gets worse. Continue.
The public health advice is clear. Vaccination...
Pause. The public health vaccination. There you go. He's only the same vaccine, for fuck's sake. Said it again. There you go. There's another tick there now. Mr. Vaccine. What you get? Is Ursula going to give you a nice little pay rise? Is she? Yeah, Ursula going to be on the blower to you later. The public health officials. Who? Neffet, the rugby club. That wouldn't know a vitamin or a mineral if it hit him in the back of the head, stuck to a shovel. Continue there, global man.
Radically reduce mortality when those over 70 and the medically vulnerable are fully protected. It will then further reduce infections, hospitalisation and mortality as younger age groups are vaccinated.
Pause. Do you hear what he said? As younger generations, as younger populations, are vaccinated. So remember, when I told you the end game was to vaccinate your children, you all wanted to have a go at me. I'm only telling you all this because the country you live in is controlled by the EU. If they say they're putting an EU global fucking pandemic together that's going to vaccinate people, that's what they're going to do. It's a 99.91 recovery rate. He's just told you now. He has just told you that he's going to be vaccinating the younger population. It's all coming down the line. He is telling you because the EU, Ursula von der Leyen, and all the dirtbags that literally the guards are working for, and they think they're working for the Irish flag when they're actually working for the EU flag, right? And I hope guards are looking at this, and I hope they realise how much they're being fucking manipulated and set the fuck up, okay? He said it again. Give him another tick there. That's all he is a fucking tick. So there you go. How many are we up to now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ticks, are you? With the word vaccine, vaccinations. Continue there. Go ahead.
These vaccines
Oh,
are
pause.
transformative.
Pause. Yeah, he's saying I have to say it again. These, and see the way he's using his hand. These vaccines, see? Another big sale. He's told to go out. It's a sales pitch. That's all it is. There you go. There's another fucking, another tick for you. Okay? Nothing about this beautiful land and our country and our 1916 that's coming up. So we'll get into that. Continue, Global.
And they are our way out.
And they are our way out. There's no other way out. See? See? They are the way out. See, people listen to this and they focus in on what they only want to hear. They don't break it down like I am and focus in exactly what he's saying, where he's moving his hand, and how he's trying to dictate down to you when it comes to EU and vaccines, and your only way out is a vaccine. He knows, the EU agenda know, that your only way out will be a vaccine to travel. It will be for your kids to go to school. This is all coming down the line. The more you all keep saying, yeah, hey, I can play tennis at the end of April. Continue, Global.
Every effort has been made to ensure that almost all doses are injected into people in the same week that they arrive.
Injected into people the same week they arrive. This is unbelievable. And they're not talking about, like, why doesn't he have an expert there with him that shows you the ingredients? Because these are all mugs to him.
Disruptions to supply to Ireland and throughout Europe have held us back.
Now, see that there? Remember the disruption to suppliers? It's very important that we keep breaking this down. That is like saying, we're putting the tickets on sale for the event. Yeah, they go on sale and you go, sold out. They're not sold out. Just giving you it's called reverse psychology. Yeah, that's all it is. So he's making people think first he's doing a great job because he's getting more supplies in when you already have supplies. It's all just a big scam to make us think, give us the supply. It's a scam, a lot of it. Continue, Global man. Continue. You're ashamed to Fianna Fáil. You're ashamed to this country. You think people like us don't get you, man. You're living in the clouds, mate.
Indeed, the only thing that is holding us back is supply. The very good news is that supply is set to dramatically increase.
Is it?
In April, May and June. But it is important also to take a moment to explain to you what has been achieved up to this point. As I speak to you now, more than 800,000 doses of the vaccine have been administered.
800,000 of the vaccines. There you go. Another tick. See, all he's talking about, guys, is vaccines. That's what he's out to do. That's the end game. It's not out to care about you playing tennis or nothing like that. They use all that to suppress you all, to keep you dumbed down. Then when you get a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, a little bit of hope, you just go, yay! But no one focuses in on the big sale. This is a big vaccination sale. Don't worry. The other scam artist part of that see that dirty, horrible flag there that should be ripped the fuck down. See that? That's destroyed their land. See that dirty thing? Don't worry, all the other people parties of Europe will also be speaking like him on their platforms. Don't you worry about that. Continue, Mr. Global.
That means that we'll administer the first vaccination.
Pause it again. First vaccination, 800,000 vaccination. There we go, there's another fucking tick for you. How many is that? Continue there with your sale, will you?
To those over 80, to frontline healthcare workers. And
frontline healthcare workers, Michal, they don't want it. A lot of them don't want it. But you won't talk about that. No, you'll just sack them.
Making good progress with the most medically vulnerable. This has allowed us to move to the next phase and to begin vaccinating people over 60.
Pause. Vaccinating people over 60. Here he goes now around to the next line. More vaccines. Good man there. Keep going with your sale there.
Defined and people with underlying medical conditions. By the middle of April, all over 70s will have had their first dose. And by mid to late May, all over 70s will be fully vaccinated.
Pause. There you go. Vaccinated again. Do people not see this now? Do people not? You all think that he cares about you? He cares about that flag. He doesn't care about that flag. right? It's about time that the guards realise this. It's about time that the army realise this. It's about time that the people in this country realise this. You are running out of time. You are all running out of time. I'm telling you now, you mark my words, you're running out of time, man. Right? There's another vaccine, right? This country is controlled by this dirtbag, right? And he's only pushing what these dirty scumbags are doing, sitting over there in Germany. Now continue.
So the truth is that despite the difficulties with international supply, our national vaccination programme...
Pause. Another vaccination. There you go. Another one. Vaccination programme. There you go. Look how many times he said it. And he's not... How many times have I paused him? Like, it's not as if somebody spoke for 10 minutes and literally said it in the space of 10 minutes. This is all over and over. Because they're trying to repetition the brain into vaccines.
...is well underway. I expect that by the end of next week, we will have administered close to 1 million doses. After that, our plan is to pick up the pace even further. Close to 3 million doses will be administered by the end of May. Nearly
3 million doses by the end of May. There's not even 3 million people in the country that are getting the vaccine. Like, this...
5 million doses by early July.
5 million?
6 million doses by the end of July. What does this mean for us in real terms?
I'll tell you what it means for us in real terms, will I? It means more disease, more side effects, more deaths, no freedom. That's what it fucking means. But go ahead there. Go on, tell us what it means there, Michal. Go on there.
Well, towards the end of April, we will examine the situation. And in the month of May, we will look at a phased reopening of non-essential retail, personal services, all non-contact sports training, religious services, museums, galleries and libraries, and additional freedoms for those who are fully vaccinated.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that, did you? Will we rewind it back? No, I think I will actually rewind back this line. Did you hear what he said? Let's rewind it back again now. Here we go, listen.
Non-essential retail, personal services, all non-contact sports training, religious services, museums, galleries and libraries, and additional freedoms for those who are fully vaccinated.
Pause. Additional freedoms for those who are fully vaccinated. Let's play it again. Play it again. I do not understand how the guards have not risen up against this tyranny that's going on in this town right now, man. A 99.91 recovery rate. You've got your building blocks sorted. You're not deficient. You can fight anything. You can fight a lot of disease off, and you can certainly fight COVID. And you don't need to be a medical expert to understand that. But again, let's rewind back to what he said.
Of non-essential retail, personal services, all non-contact sports training, religious services, museums, galleries and libraries, and additional freedoms for those who are fully vaccinated.
The cheek of... I cannot even... Additional freedoms for those who are vaccinated. Who does this man think he is, like?